Hey, welcome back to Soulsborne. There's quite a lot of creepy shit in this series, and in this video I'm gonna cover 10 of the worst offenders. I didn't want this entire list to be Bloodborne, so I left some of its creepy areas out, but some still deserve to be mentioned, like Nightmare of Menses with its spidery entrance. And the DLC, all of it is pretty messed up. Anyway, let's begin. Number 10, Forbidden Woods. Well, the first half of this area is pretty bleak. It's not what lands this place on this list. If you've played Bloodborne, you know exactly what does. It's the snakes. And the way they transform from humans to snake parasite monsters is pretty disturbing. And in the same area there's also this cannibal guy who's feasting on a dead family. There's even a kid there. And if you attack him, this happens.
Have you got a screw loose? Or is it your animal intuition?
The rest of the forest is also pretty creepy. I hope you're not afraid of snakes, cause there's a lot of them. And they come in different sizes. Seeing one of the large ones for the first time really stuck with me. It's a pretty nightmarish sight. Number 9, Sunken Valley Cave. Down at the bottom of the Sunken Valley is a cave so dark that if it wasn't for Sekiro's night vision, you wouldn't be able to see anything down here. And then you get ambushed by ghosts at every corner and it's pretty spooky. But the scariest thing down here is the giant snake. I remember just running down in here the first time and seeing a part of its body. I just froze, which was a bad idea considering the ghosts. The only way to get around the giant snake is to either use the Mistraven tool or by sacrificing this poor monkey. Sadly, I didn't have the Mistraven on this character, so can we get some Fs in the comments for this poor monkey? Number 8, Old Yharnam. Old Yharnam always makes me uneasy. At first it's not so bad. It's more intense than scary with the constant fire from the Gatling gun. But once you get past the Gatling gunner, you'll start to miss him because this building here is creepy as fuck. There's a corpse of a blood-starved beast and around it there's a whole town full of beasts, howling and making weird noises. Then once you proceed even further, you end up on the dark streets with werewolves all around. Some of them will even try to jump scare you, and on my first playthrough they sure as fuck succeeded. And at the very end you come across the church, with a beast just waiting at the end of it, and as you approach it, it suddenly lets out a roar. It's just an unsettling experience all around. Number 7, New Londo Ruins. New Londo Ruins are just uncomfortable to me. The atmosphere is bleak as hell. There's ghosts that are immune to damage unless you have transient curse on, and there's about 100 of these ghosts. So have fun. But the bottom section of this area is probably the worst. It has these pretty scary enemies, dark wraiths, and this giant blob of horrors. That thing is definitely the most standout creepy thing in this area. It's supposedly a collection of drowned souls that were left behind at the time of New Londo's flooding and were left to rot in the water. Thankfully killing it is pretty easy. Number 6, Yahar'gul, Unseen Village. Getting here prior to Vrom's defeat is one of the most memorable moments in Bloodborne for me. So memorable in fact that I forgot to include it in the top 10 most memorable moments in Bloodborne video. Oh well, it's here now. You first have to die to one of the sack-wielding snatchers, which isn't hard considering how much damage they do. Then you get a cutscene where you're dragged into the unknown. You wake up in a very poorly secured prison, and as you make your escape you hear odd chanting. It sounds like a fucking satanic ritual. That is creepy. And when you come back here later, the whole area is infested with giant alien creatures, which is also a pretty creepy sight. So of course this had to be on the list. Number 5, Tomb of the Giants. Are you afraid of the dark? I hope not, because welcome to the darkest area in all of Soulsborne. You can't see shit in this area if you don't have a lantern, and even then it's not exactly pleasant to explore it. There's giant skeletons, pillars made of more skeletons, a black knight for some reason. What's he even doing here? And most disturbingly, before the fight with Nito, there's a bunch of baby skeletons. What the fuck, game? Number 4, Iosefka's Clinic. Again, the journey here itself is memorable enough. You find this random cave in Forbidden Woods, and inside it there's a poison lake with naked giants. Then if you climb this ladder, you'll find corpses all around you. Then you end up outside of Iosefka's clinic where there's a brain sucker waiting for you. These guys still kinda terrify me. And once you're finally inside, you'll find that Iosefka has been turned into an alien creature. Further proof of that is this dead body on an operating table that still has a human hand. There's also the fake Iosefka here. She'll fight you unless you've progressed the game enough for the Blood Moon to appear. After that she'll just give you some creepy dialogue before you get to kill her in one hit. Overall, this place is the worst nightmare of those who are afraid of mad doctors and scientists. Number 3, Tower of Latria. I don't have any of my own footage of Tower of Latria, so I'll make this quick. I don't like using other people's footage. But Tower of Latria was probably my favorite area in Demon's Souls, simply because of its atmosphere and creepiness. There's some minor jump scares in the first half, there's prisoners crying in agony, and in the second half there's some terrifying insects. And I have a small phobia of insects, so no thanks. Number 2, Irithel Dungeon. Here we have Tower of Latria again, except not as good, but still about as creepy. This place has a couple of really loud jump scares. The jailers are pretty scary enemies too, as they can steal your life by just looking at you. And perhaps most disturbingly, there's these golem looking babies. The first one just stares at you. It's honestly more creepy than it's straight up attacking you. I don't know why, it's just... ugh. There's also lots of theories about what these are. They're most likely failed experiments of Osiris on his quest to become a dragon, as you can see them having some sort of wings on their back. Pretty messed up stuff. Number 1, Upper Cathedral Ward. But we all knew this would be number 1, my favorite area in Bloodborne. The atmosphere is so creepy here, I love it. As soon as you enter this place you see alien babies, and they look nasty. The background music also helps in making you feel uncomfortable. Once inside you can get jump scared by a werewolf in a similar way as in old Yharnam. It worked on me again. And as dark as this place is, it gets even darker when the lights go out once the pack of werewolves bring down the chandelier. Great! Oh, and there's more brain suckers. Even better! There's also a crisp body of someone trying to make contact with something alien. And aliens is what this area has at the end of it. There's the laughably easy boss, Celestial Emissary, and then the agonizingly difficult Eprietas. And the visual design of Eprietas is just... ah! It's so horrifying! And that's it for this list. Be sure to let me know what you found the most disturbing in the series. Thanks for watching, see ya!